Greetings, I am Rowena. It was 2 months past when I found myself drawn to the drawer that held my engagement ring, a precious creation my late fiancé had devoted years to crafting alongside me. And just like that, it vanished into the ether. As my mother cradled her cup of coffee, she looked up and said, "Oh, that?" And so the moment arrived when we let it go. In the enchanting land of Bali, Callista embarked on a journey of self-discovery, seeking the time and space to uncover the depths of her own soul. They parted with a magnificent ring, valued at $797,900, as if it were mere clutter, tossed aside without a second thought. In the stillness of the night, when shadows danced softly across the room, there lay an envelope upon my pillow, a harbinger of unspoken truths. No warning had come, nor any hint of regret. Only the heavy weight of silence lingered in the air, thick with the promise of what was to come. Yet, unbeknownst to them, hidden in the shadows of their expectations, lay the unexpected twist of my next move. Before we embark on this journey together, allow me to pose a question to you. Have you ever felt the sting of indifference from those who were meant to be your guardians, as if your existence was but a whisper in the wind? Share your thoughts with us. Share with me the hour at which you find yourself watching this and the place from which you gaze upon it. Every single one found its way into my hands and I devoured them all. In this place, Friday mornings seemed to pause as if the world itself was taking a moment to gather its thoughts. In the heart of Denver, the chill of winter was slowly giving way to the warmth of spring. Gentle beams of sunlight danced through the blinds, spilling their soft golden light onto the dresser, a surface that had long been neglected, untouched by polish for many moons. Perched on the edge of my bed, one sock adorning my foot, I tried to shake off the quiet tension that had woven itself into the fabric of my week. On this day, the air was thick with the sweet scent of nostalgia, for it marked the anniversary of Everett, a moment in time that held stories yet to be told. It was 2 years to the day, a span of time since the world had quietly folded in on itself, much like the stillness that hangs in the air just before a storm breaks. Gone were the tears that once flowed so freely, unlike that first spring when emotions ran wild. Grief had hushed its tone, yet it lingered, ever-present and piercing. Yet it now resided in the quietude, in those elusive moments that lingered between the echoes of sound. With a gentle pull, I opened the second drawer of my nightstand, revealing the familiar velvet box that had found its home there, waiting patiently for my touch. In every moment, without fail. By this time, it felt as if it were etched into the very fibers of his being. In that familiar moment, the angle remained unchanged, and the gentle click echoed softly as the wood parted, revealing what lay beyond. Yet curiously, there was no box to be found. With a gentle blink, I widened the drawer's embrace, peering into its depths. I lifted the tissues, revealing a few forgotten receipts and a half-used candle wick, a relic I had never found the heart to discard. There was no box to be found. There was no box to be found. With a determined heart, I rose to my feet and began to explore the depths of my other drawers. In the vast expanse of existence, there lay a profound emptiness, a silence that spoke volumes yet revealed nothing at all. Not even the soft embrace of the ring's velvet cloth. Yet, deep within my soul, there was a whisper that assured me it was no mere accident. As I stood there, a weight settled upon my chest, squeezing tighter with each passing moment. Not with a rush of fear, but rather with an eerie, biting chill that crept in like a whisper in the night. As I descended the staircase, a curious sight unfolded. There I was, clad in a single sock, my fingers clutching the banister with an intensity that spoke of both caution and anticipation. In the heart of the home, where the aroma of familiar meals lingered, Mom stood at the kitchen counter, her fingers dancing over the pages of a magazine as if it were just another ordinary Friday. With a gentle lift of the cup to her lips, she savored the warmth of her coffee, her gaze fixed firmly ahead, oblivious to the world around her. As the first light of dawn broke through the window, she greeted the day with a simple, yet warm morning. "Mom," I inquired, striving to keep my voice steady. "Have you seen my ring anywhere? It seems to have vanished into thin air." With a gentle flick of her wrist, she turned the page, revealing the next chapter of her unfolding tale. "Which ring do you speak of?" With a firm grip, I tightened my jaw, a silent testament to the storm brewing within me. Once upon a time, there was a ring. In the heart of a tale, there lies a ring belonging to Everett. The very one he bestowed upon me. "Oh," she said, her eyes fluttering open and closed as if I had just inquired about something long past its prime. Once upon a time, there existed a singular notion, a whisper of thought that lingered in the air, simply that. And so the moment arrived when we let it go, sealing the deal with a sense of finality. In the aftermath, an oppressive silence enveloped the air, heavy and thick, as if the very world held its breath. "What did you say?" As she gently stirred her coffee, her gaze drifted toward the window, where the world outside beckoned with its quiet allure. In a land of vibrant sunsets and whispering waves, Callista found herself in need of assistance for her enchanting Bali retreat. In the realm of the unseen, where the whispers of the universe dance around us, there lies a tapestry woven with threads of the spiritual. It beckons to those who seek deeper truths and connections beyond the ordinary, inviting them to explore the mysteries that lie within and beyond. The ring had slipped from your finger, lost to the world, as if it never belonged there at all. In that fleeting instant, the very act of breathing slipped from my mind, as if the world had paused to hold its breath alongside me. It was more than a mere ring. From the shadows of the hallway, Dad's voice floated in, weaving its way through the air like a gentle breeze. "It has sat untouched for months, Rowena. It seemed to us that you had moved on, leaving that behind." As I turned, there he stood, arms crossed, the familiar weariness of condescension flickering in his gaze. It felt as though I had stumbled once more, unable to rise to the expectations that had never been set by my own accord. As I gazed upon them, a tempest of unspoken words swirled within me, caught in the tangled web of my ribs and throat, yearning to break free. "You sold something that didn't belong to you," I remarked. With a casual lift of his shoulders, Dad expressed a nonchalant indifference. "Ah, but if we delve into the details, one might say in a manner of speaking." "No," I interjected, my voice steady and resolute. "Ah, but that ring, it belonged to me, a treasure of my own. It was Everett who crafted the design alongside me, weaving our ideas into a shared vision. In a moment filled with anticipation, we embarked on a journey to select the diamond, hand in hand, as if fate itself had guided our choices. Within the delicate confines of the band, he chose to etch a message that would forever whisper secrets of love and commitment." With a dramatic flourish, Mom let out a sigh and rolled her eyes as if the weight of the world rested upon her shoulders. "Rowena, it seems the wedding bells have faded into the distance, haven't they?" With a twinkle in her eye, she delivered her words as if they were a playful jest. It was as if Everett had just emerged into the world beyond. He had not succumbed to the weight of the world in the parking lot of that diner, where he had been patiently awaiting my arrival. He didn't leave a voicemail, but I could almost hear the excitement in his voice as he announced he was bringing my favorite pie. "He may be gone, but his memory lingers on," I declared with a sharpness in my voice. Yet, as I reached the final word, my voice faltered, breaking like a fragile whisper in the wind. With a weary sigh, Mom wore that familiar expression, one that spoke of the weight of emotions too heavy to bear. In a journey of self-discovery, Callista embarks on a quest to uncover the depths of her own being. That retreat is life-changing. Perhaps she could have parted with something dear to her, I murmured softly. "She doesn't possess anything of that sort," Dad murmured softly. Yet it lay there, untouched and waiting. I took a step back, feeling the world sway ever so slightly around me. They hadn't merely parted with a ring. They had relinquished the final fragment of him that remained in my possession. As I turned and ascended the stairs once more, each footfall echoed, a resounding reminder of my presence in the stillness. As I stepped into my room, I felt a familiar pull to the drawer, and so I opened it once more. In that familiar void, a revelation dawned upon me, illuminating a detail I had overlooked amidst the fog. In the quiet recesses it lay folded, tucked away with a tenderness that whispered of indifference. Once there was a piece of velvet cloth, rich and deep in color, whispering tales of elegance and luxury with every fold and drape. Once vibrant and full of life, the deep navy fabric, adorned with delicate white daisies, now lies limp, stripped of the weight it once held with grace. There I was seated on the floor, right next to the old drawer, lost in thought. The cloth lay gently upon my lap, a soft whisper of fabric waiting to tell its tale. As my fingers grazed the stitches, a wave of familiarity washed over me, each thread telling a story of its own. Everett spoke of the daisies, their vibrant petals evoking memories of our inaugural road trip, when they danced freely in the field behind that weathered motel in Utah. In that moment I lingered, enveloped by silence, yet overwhelmed by the weight of my own emotions. Beyond the window, the sky had transformed into a gentle pale blue, with clouds drifting gracefully in a slow dance of formation. And so the world continued its eternal dance, spinning ever onward. Yet deep within me a spark had dimmed. Before I fully grasped the moment, my voice emerged, a low and steady whisper weaving through the air. They didn't merely part with a ring. They relinquished the remnants of my very soul. Time slipped away as I lingered in that spot, lost in thought, perhaps for an hour or even longer. There I stood, alone with the hollow drawer and the daisy-stitched velvet cloth, a once cherished keeper of the solitary token that whispered of his proposal, the moment he asked me to be his wife. As the sun dipped below the horizon and Sunday night settled in, I found myself still within the familiar confines of my room, never having ventured beyond its threshold. Alas, my appetite had been quite modest as well. Only water, aged crackers, and the kind of silence that allowed me to hold on to my composure. It had been a quiet stretch since Friday morning, my phone untouched and silent, resting in stillness. Fear gripped my heart, a tight knot of anxiety at the thought of receiving messages from Mom, urging me to show more understanding. Even more daunting was the possibility of Callista, with her feigned innocence, reaching out as if the past had never unfolded. Yet, in the end, I summoned the courage to switch it on. It wasn't that I felt prepared, but rather that I had grown weary of lurking in the shadows. As the screen flickered to life, a sight unfolded before my eyes that sent a shiver through my very core. In a serene corner of Ubud there stood Callista, gracefully poised upon a glossy wooden yoga deck, the sun casting gentle rays upon her. With the sunlight casting a golden glow behind her, she adorned herself with a garland of flowers, her arms raised in that familiar pose of surrender to the universe, a gesture she had perfected since her days of youthful boredom in Sunday school at the tender age of 16. In the quiet moments of reflection, a caption emerged whispering truths. Healing may come with a hefty price, yet its value is immeasurable. With a heart full of gratitude, I acknowledge the unwavering support of my incredible family, who have steadfastly believed in the path I tread. Amidst the swirling currents of digital chatter, a heart emoji danced like a beacon of affection, while a lotus blossomed, symbolizing purity and beauty. The comments poured in like a vibrant stream, each one adding to the tapestry of connection. Your spirit ignites a flame within me. What a courageous spirit. Behold the visage of healing. She radiates a brilliance, as if she were a source of pure light. My gaze was fixed upon the screen, and as time passed, a tremor began to dance through my hand. Not a single tear would fall. Ah, but there it was, the moment that sent a shiver down my spine. It seemed as though the grief had found no refuge, no place to rest its weary head. With a flicker of determination, she took the coins from his ring money, transforming them into a vibrant tale of her rebirth. As I continued to scroll, the situation only grew more dire. In the tapestry of her journey, she found herself woven into the narratives of others, her essence captured in stories shared far and wide. Yoga brands sang her praises and a wellness blog illuminated her path, showcasing her spirit to the world. Once upon a time, in a world filled with challenges and heartache, there lived a remarkable soul named Callista Blaze. Her journey was one of profound transformation, where pain became the catalyst for her rise to power. Through trials and tribulations, she discovered the strength within herself, illuminating the path for others to follow. This is the tale of her extraordinary metamorphosis. In the tale, one could find a passage that spoke of triumph over the shadows of generational dysfunction, and another that recounted her courageous choice to embark on the challenging journey of self-love. A chuckle almost escaped my lips. Not a whisper of my name graced the pages, not even a solitary line to mark my presence. In the quiet moments of dusk, as she reached toward the fading light, a hidden truth lingered in the shadows. There I was, nestled on the floor of my childhood sanctuary, a place once filled with laughter and dreams. My parents, in their own way of moving on, had given away the bed I had chosen after Everett's departure, deeming it too grand for a solitary soul. Little did they know the weight of that decision, the echoes of loss that still resided within those walls. As I continued to scroll, a whisper from my mind beckoned me to return to a moment that lingered just beyond my reach. In the tapestry of my childhood, there were vivid threads woven with Callista's spirited outbursts, the echo of slamming doors, and the gentle sighs of our mother. She would turn to me, her eyes filled with a knowing warmth, and whisper, "You're the strong one, Rowena. Guide me in maintaining harmony." It was a role I never sought, yet somehow I found myself bound to it, unable to walk away. Once upon a time, Everett would often share a profound thought. One need not always be the steadfast guardian, clinging to the crumbling walls of a home as flames danced around it. Yet, it seems I did not grasp it tightly enough, for now they twirled joyfully in the flames, while I lay scattered as mere ashes. As the clock struck 830, I donned my attire and set forth on a journey to the cemetery. As the day wore on, the wind began to stir, whispering secrets through the trees. With a haunting creak, the gate yielded to my touch as I stepped into the unknown. As I tread softly along the narrow path flanked by weathered graves, I held only my phone in hand, while a heavy, unshakable feeling nestled deep within my chest, a weight that had lingered since that fateful Friday. As I approached Everett's stone, I found myself standing tall, not kneeling. In that moment, I found myself rooted to the spot. "They used your ring, Everett," I whispered softly, the words hanging in the air like a secret waiting to be uncovered. "They parted with it," allowing her the chance to share her gratitude quotes amidst the serene beauty of Bali. The wind whispered through the brittle leaves at my feet, and I felt a subtle shift within me, as if something had fractured just a touch more. Upon returning to the familiar embrace of home, I found myself seated on the floor once more, my fingers gliding over the screen as I scrolled through the endless stream of stories and images. In the realm of social media, her most recent offering captivated the hearts of many, garnering nearly 2,000 likes from those who stumbled upon it. High above the lush expanse of rice fields, a drone glides gracefully, capturing the vibrant tapestry of green that stretches endlessly beneath it. In the midst of her twirl, she extended her arms wide, embracing the world around her. Once upon a time, there was a simple yet profound caption that held the power to convey a message in just a few words. "In the midst of chaos, there comes a moment when one must embark on a journey away from the clamor, seeking the whispers of their own spirit." In that moment, my mind was a blank canvas, untouched and untroubled by the weight of thought. With a swift motion, my fingers danced across the keys, racing against the creeping shadows of shame that threatened to envelop me. One could only wish that the journey of healing bore the fruits of worthiness. With a sense of finality, I handed over the payment. With a decisive click, I sent it off into the ether. Like a whisper lost in the roaring waves of admiration, the comment vanished without a trace. And just like that, 10 minutes had slipped away, leaving nothing behind. Once upon a time, in a realm where words danced and stories flowed, there existed a tale that was lost to the winds of time, erased from the pages of memory. Its essence, though fleeting, lingered in the hearts of those who once knew it, a whisper of what could have been. And so it faded into the shadows, leaving behind a silence that spoke volumes. As the clock struck 10:42 in the evening, a soft buzz echoed from my phone. "Mother, grant your sister the chance to shine in this moment. Let us not weave a tale of discord. In a world filled with tension and emotion, where every glance holds a story and every word can ignite a fire, the stage is set for a tale of conflict and resolution. Here the characters dance through the highs and lows of their intertwined fates, each moment dripping with anticipation and heartache. The air thickens with suspense as the plot unfolds, revealing the depths of human experience in all its raw, unfiltered glory. Thus was the name bestowed upon it. Not a fading away. It was not betrayal. In the heart of a tale woven with tension and emotion, a story unfolds, rich with the complexities of human experience. Each moment brims with anticipation, as characters navigate the intricate dance of conflict and resolution, drawing us into their world of passion and intrigue. Silence enveloped my thoughts, and I chose not to respond. With unwavering focus, I gazed at the screen, my eyes tracing the lines of that message over and over, until the words began to dance and blur before me. As I journeyed back through the digital scroll, my eyes were drawn once more to the visage of Callista. Many believe that grief echoes with a cacophony of sound. Amidst the echoes of wailing and the heavy weight of sobbing, a figure storms out, yet the truth remains elusive, for it is not what it seems. As the world watches in awe, the eraser glides across the canvas, slowly fading away what once was, while the crowd erupts in applause for the one wielding such power. In that moment, my intentions were far from stirring the pot. Once more, I found myself grappling with the fear of fading into the shadows, longing to remain visible and present. In that moment, my intentions were far from stirring the pot. Once more, I found myself grappling with the fear of fading away into the shadows, longing to remain present in the light. In this peculiar family, it seemed that merely stepping beyond the lines of their carefully crafted script was seen as an act of defiance. 3 days had slipped away since that comment disappeared from Callista's post, much like I had, it seemed. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, I found myself seated at the kitchen table, the mid-morning light spilling softly through the window. It was the very same place where I had savored my cereal since the tender age of 7. Before me rested a small folder, tidy and sealed, holding secrets within its confines. Within the confines of that space, every item lay arranged with meticulous care, each one perfectly aligned with the next. Amidst the memories there lay partial receipts for the ring, a whisper of Everett's old email that confirmed the appraisal, and a heartfelt note from his parents, penned in a grief-soaked cursive, expressing their gratitude for my care of the ring until it could find its place in your new chapter together. With a gentle nudge I sent it gliding across the table, right toward my father. He let it sit there untouched, as if it were a fragile treasure that deserved to be admired from a distance. "You continue down this path," he remarked, his gaze fixed firmly on the pages of the Denver Post, "and you'll shatter your own tranquility. What is done cannot be undone." He stirred his coffee with a focus that suggested it was the sole treasure in a world of distractions. "Yet," I urged, "you must at least recognize what it truly was," my voice trembling with the weight of the moment. With a heavy sigh, he carefully folded the paper, and at last, his gaze met mine. "Ah, Rowena, it has been 2 full years since you first set foot in this place, and not a single coin has exchanged hands for your stay. We have bestowed upon you a bounty that surpasses all expectations. It is but a simple ring." With a subtle motion he glided an object across the table, a slender white envelope adorned with a shimmering gold-embossed letterhead. As my eyes fell upon the name of the law firm, a wave of unease washed over me, turning my stomach in a tumultuous dance. With a gentle hand, I began to unveil it, taking my time as anticipation swirled around me. Within the confines of that envelope lay a note, meticulously crafted and imbued with an air of formality. In this letter we affirm that every item within the walls of our abode is rightfully owned by Vera and Jean Blaze. In that moment I set the book aside, letting the words fade into silence. It was not merely the ring they sought. They sought to impress upon me a profound truth, that here in this place nothing was ever truly mine. As the day wore on, the sky outside draped itself in a heavy gray cloak, a hue that seemed to seep into the very marrow of one's bones, stirring a deep, unshakable ache within. As I wandered into the garage, a sense of mystery enveloped me, leaving me to ponder the reason behind my unplanned arrival. Perhaps I longed for the fresh air, untouched by the whispers of others. As I perched upon a crate marked with the name Rowena College, I carefully lifted the lid, sweeping away a layer of dust that had settled like a forgotten memory. Within the confines of that box lay yearbooks, a weathered guitar strap, and nestled beneath it all, a small sealed envelope, waiting to reveal its secrets. There it lay, my name gracing the front, penned in Everett's careful and unmistakable script, a testament to his artistry with the written word. It was a moment of revelation, for I had never dared to unveil this treasure before. My hands trembled ever so slightly. Within the confines of that space lay a solitary sticky note, its colors dulled by time yet still holding its form. "Guard your voice and cherish your worth, for they are treasures that belong to you alone." For what felt like an eternity I remained still, caught in a moment that seemed to stretch endlessly before me. It was more than mere words on a page. It struck me like a sudden blow, delivered by a soul who had always perceived my essence, even in those moments when I felt myself fading away. With a careful motion, I tucked it away in my wallet, nestled behind my driver's license, hidden from the gaze of the world that only knew the surface of who I was. On that fateful night, the dinner unfolded with an air of predictability. Once upon a time a hearty meal was laid out before eager diners. A warm meatloaf, vibrant green beans, and a side of erasure, all served steaming hot, inviting all to partake in the feast. As the meal unfolded, Mom lifted her glass, a glimmer of joy dancing in her eyes. "Let us raise a toast to Callista," a name that dances on the lips like a cherished secret whispered in the twilight. In the tapestry of her life, threads of growth wove together with strands of healing, all illuminated by the radiant light of her courage. Behold the remarkable metamorphosis. In that moment I found myself frozen in place. Not a single soul cast their gaze in my direction. Not a single fleeting look was cast to see if the other daughter drew breath. With a gentle rise I raised my glass, only to let it fall back down as I rose to my feet. "I shall be upstairs," I declared. My father whispered softly, his words barely escaping his lips, yet they reached my ears with clarity. Once upon a time there was a girl who found herself lost in a world of her own making, where the colors seemed dull and the paths unclear. What she truly needed was a glimpse beyond her own horizon, a shift in her view to see the beauty that lay just outside her reach. Silence enveloped the moment, and I chose not to respond. With a gentle creak of the floorboards beneath my feet, I made my way to my room, where I reached beneath the bed and retrieved the plastic storage bin, its presence a quiet reminder of forgotten treasures. Amidst the clutter of everyday life, there lay a collection of bills, receipts, and copies of insurance forms. Email printouts whispered stories of communication, while statements from my joint account with Everett chronicled our shared journey, items that had remained untouched for a whole year. In that moment I found myself wandering through the shadows of uncertainty, not quite sure of what I sought, yet deeply aware that it must be something distinctly my own, something that belonged to no one else. Once a whisper of memory brushed against my heart, stirring echoes of a life once lived, a love once cherished, and a voice that once sang out into the world. With a soft beep the scanner came to life, eagerly accepting each page I offered, one after another. In a moment of inspiration, I set forth on a journey to create folders. In the quiet moments of my work, I took to the task of labeling timelines, each mark a whisper of history waiting to be told. In the journey of life, there came a moment when the tears ceased to flow, and the yearning for recognition faded into the background. In a moment of profound transformation, a deep yearning to be acknowledged morphed into an unwavering resolve to stand firm against the shadows of silence. Alas, the ring had been taken from them. Yet the truth had eluded their grasp. Not just yet. In the midst of creation I found myself wandering, uncertain of the very thing I was crafting. In that moment a deep yearning stirred within me, a whisper of a desire for something that truly belonged to me. In that moment I found myself lost in the mystery of creation, unaware of the true nature of what was taking shape before me. In that moment a deep yearning stirred within me, a whisper of a desire for something that truly belonged to me. As Thursday night approached, the mountain of documents on my desk grew, doubling in size before my very eyes. In a world where every detail matters, receipts, bank transfers, and insurance forms found their way into the realm of order. Each document was carefully scanned, labeled with precision, and tucked away into a folder that bore the name Truth, a sanctuary for the stories they held. In the unfolding tale, there existed neither a grand design nor a carefully penned legal document. There I was, weaving together thread after thread, each one a delicate connection, until the moment came when someone else seized them from my grasp. The rain danced upon the windows, a gentle rhythm that whispered secrets of the storm outside. Gentle yet unwavering, it was the kind of haze that softened the world beyond, mirroring the tumultuous emotions swirling within me. As I settled in before my laptop, my eyes scanned the words of an old email from Everett, and in a moment of distraction, my fingers grazed the trackpad, sending the screen into a flurry of unexpected movement. Once upon a time a forgotten browser tab flickered back to life. Once upon a time there lay a page, a forgotten bookmark resting gently upon it, a remnant of a year gone by. Once upon a time there existed a podcast. As the autoplay began to weave its magic, her voice floated through the air, capturing my attention like a whisper from a distant land. Issus. Once we choose to shed the roles that others have cast upon us, the journey of healing truly commences. Once upon a time there was a name that danced on the lips of many, Callista. In that moment time stood still, and I found myself utterly still, as if the world around me had paused in anticipation. There I stood, unmoving. My hand lingered in the air, suspended in a moment of indecision, torn between the urge to shut the window and the desire to capture every whispered word that danced on the breeze. With a melodic tone, the host's voice gracefully filled the air. Ah, Callista, what a force you are! Your strength resonates deeply. Could you share a tale of that release with us? In that moment, time seemed to stand still. A quiet sip of something lingered in the air, and then, I found myself needing to distance my heart from the sorrow that enveloped our family. There are those who hold on to their suffering as if it were a part of their very essence. Every muscle in my body froze, as if caught in a moment of stillness, a silent testament to the tension that gripped me. In that moment time seemed to stand still, and I found myself unable to blink. In the midst of a lively conversation, her words danced through the air, and I couldn't shake the feeling that they were meant for me. I continued to listen intently. With a heavy heart, I turned and took my leave. Took a great toll on me. Yet, in the midst of it all, I embraced joy. In a moment of profound clarity, I relinquished all that I held dear, casting aside even those items steeped in the shadows of my past. One cannot journey ahead while burdened by the heavy chains of emotional debt, for they weigh down the spirit and cloud the path to brighter horizons. But what I truly speak of are rings. These are but mere objects steeped in sorrow and anguish. It seems the moment slipped away from me, for I cannot recall ever pressing pause. In that moment I found myself gazing into the depths of the screen, my own reflection emerging from the shadows of the dark monitor, as if it were a stranger, no longer familiar with the essence of who I was. 50,000 listens echoed through the air, a testament to the journey that had unfolded. 50,000 souls gathered, their ears open to my tale, only to witness it contorted and repackaged as her own legacy. In a twist of fate, she transformed Everett's ring into a symbol of toxicity, weaving a tale of love turned sour. In the shadows of my sorrow where our love once flourished, I find it now diminished, stripped bare to mere clickbait. In that moment I held my breath, choosing silence over the chaos that threatened to erupt. In a moment of tension I found myself standing there, resolute, as the laptop remained untouched in my grasp. There I was seated in stillness. With a gentle pause my fingers danced in the air before gliding forward with deliberate grace. With a click, I summoned the episode from the vast expanse of the digital realm, and tucked it away safely into its designated folder, a treasure now secured for future enjoyment. With a sense of purpose, I opened a fresh document and inscribed upon it the title Timeline of Misuse. As the night deepened, the file expanded before me, my breath the sole companion in the stillness, accompanied only by the gentle whisper of rain and the haunting echo of betrayal. As the clock struck 10, I reached for my coat and keys, ready to embark on a new adventure. In the quiet of the night I made my decision, a secret held close to my heart. I chose not to share my plans with a soul, slipping away like a whisper in the wind. In a quaint little corner of the town, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee danced in the air, I found myself seeking a simple task. My mission was to scan a handful of letters, those cherished words from Everett, and fortune smiled upon me. The local coffee shop, with its welcoming glow and late-night hours, stood ready to assist in my endeavor. As I journeyed through the quiet, the windshield wipers danced in a gentle, steady beat, marking the passage of time. In the cozy little coffee shop, the barista stood behind the counter, a quiet observer of the world around them, choosing not to pry into the stories of those who came and went. As I placed my order for a steaming cup of black tea, I sought out a cozy corner tucked away near the back, a perfect spot for a moment of quiet reflection. One by one, I carefully placed his letters into the machine, noticing how his once steady handwriting began to waver in the later ones. With every scan, the weight of the truth grew, pressing down like a heavy cloak, rather than lifting the veil of uncertainty. In the depths of your heart, there lies a profound appreciation for the way you perceive others, a gift that shines brightly, even when they have lost the ability to recognize your light. With a gentle touch, I laid my hand upon that page. In the depths of my heart, I found no desire for vengeance. In that moment I felt a deep yearning to remain unchanged, to hold on to the essence of who I am, untouched by the hands of time or the whims of others. As I made my way back home, the clock had nearly struck midnight. With a sense of comfort enveloping me, I slipped into an old sweatshirt, gathering my hair into a low knot that whispered of ease. Settling cross-legged on the floor, I found my place near the desk, ready for whatever the moment might bring. In the drawer beside me there lay a treasure, folded with care and untouched by time. It was a velvet cloth, adorned with delicate white daisies at its corners, a silent guardian of a precious ring that once rested within its embrace. I took the USB drive where I'd saved the podcast and wrapped it in the cloth. Some things you wrap not to protect but to remember. I placed it gently in my purse, zipped the top, and let it sit there like an anchor. I wasn't ready to confront them. Not just yet. Yet, deep within my soul a transformation had taken root. No longer was I shattering into pieces. In the midst of my journey, I found myself gathering treasures. It was never a matter of showing them their mistakes. It was a moment of revelation, a flicker of clarity that brought forth the truth I had long held within me, a truth that whispered softly, reminding me that I had indeed been right all along. It was never a quest to show them they were mistaken. In that moment, a flicker of realization danced in my mind, a whisper of truth that echoed the certainty I had once held dear. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Friday evening draped itself over the house, a heavy damp cloak that felt both unwelcome and suffocating. The gray light outside lingered unmoving, as the hours slipped by like whispers in the wind. Within those four walls, a heavy silence enveloped the space, wrapping around like a thick fog. As the door clicked shut behind my parents, the air filled with the lingering aroma of my mother's lavender perfume, a gentle reminder of her presence. On the kitchen counter sat a Tupperware container, its contents of meatloaf untouched, waiting patiently for my attention. In the quiet of the upper floor I lingered, the door ajar just enough to let a sliver of light spill through, while my laptop lay closed, awaiting the next tale to be told. Though my body protested with aches from the hours spent in stillness, I found myself unable to surrender to the comfort of rest. In that moment I yearned for a whisper of the past, a trace of something that could rekindle the memory of a time when this house was not a prison, but a sanctuary of warmth and laughter. And so I embarked on a journey of discovery, delving deep into the unknown. In the dim recesses of my closet, there lay an old bin, its brittle plastic edges whispering tales of wear, ready to crack at the slightest touch. Within its confines lay the remnants of a girl who danced on the edges of my memory, a fleeting shadow from a time long past. In a treasure trove of memories there lie CDs marked with the bold strokes of a Sharpie, birthday cards crafted with the innocence of elementary school friendships, and Polaroids that capture the fleeting moments of a time when baby teeth still graced my smile and scraped knees were a badge of childhood adventure. Among these relics rests a stack of mini DV tapes, each one a portal to the past, waiting to unveil stories long forgotten. It had been many moons since I last laid eyes upon those. With a gentle hum, I connected the small camcorder to the wall, my fingers dancing over the tape drawer. I selected a tape, its label reading Rose 6th B-Day, a promise of memories waiting to unfold. As the darkness faded, the screen flickered to life, casting a glow that danced in the shadows. A static hum filled the air. Then came the color, muted and jittery, yet clear enough to capture the eye. Once upon a time, a little girl in a bright yellow sundress stood beside a magnificent chocolate-frosted cake, its 6 candles flickering with a warm glow. My smile stretched across my face, a beacon of joy. Ah, how vividly I recall that dress. With all the fervor of a child chasing dreams, I pleaded with my mother for it, insisting that it wrapped me in warmth, much like the golden rays of sunshine. And so it was that Callista graced the screen, a mere 8 years of age yet already reaching heights beyond her years. In a sudden twist of fate, she thrust my head into the cake, catching me completely off guard. With a sudden jolt I recoiled, feeling the impact resonate through the tape and beneath me on the floor. Amidst the joyous revelry, the camera trembled, capturing the echoes of laughter that danced through the air. As the evening settled in, the harmonious sounds of my parents' voices intertwined, creating a melody that filled the air. "Oh, Callista! Oh my goodness!" My mother spoke, her laughter ringing out more than her reprimands. Young me brushed the sweet frosting from my eyelashes. As I cast my gaze about, seeking a glimmer of assistance, I found myself surrounded by stillness, not a soul stirred. And so, the clip came to a close. With a gentle tap, I brought the video to a halt. With a firm grasp, my fingers curled around the edge of the desk, anchoring me in that moment. In that stillness, I lingered, savoring the familiar bitterness of silence that I must have consumed on that fateful day. In the stillness of the room, I let my voice slip away, a soft murmur meant for no ears but my own. Perhaps this is the way of the world, a constant thread woven into the fabric of our lives. With a soft click, the key found its way into the lock of the front door downstairs, heralding the arrival of something new. In the stillness of the evening, the sound of heels echoed softly against the cool tile, a gentle reminder of her presence. The familiar clink of keys found their home in the bowl, a ritual of the day's end. Then, like a whisper carried on the night air, my mother's voice floated through the house, likely bidding my father good night before retreating to the sanctuary of her dreams. Yet, rather than retreating to her room, she ascended the stairs. Soft footsteps danced outside my door, followed by a gentle knock. Just as I was about to respond, she swung the door wide open. Without a whisper of caution, without a nod of consent. In that moment she found herself standing still, cradling a small velvet box, its deep navy hue whispering tales of time, with corners that bore the marks of age. Her gaze danced just out of reach of my own. As I rummaged through the depths of the closet, she whispered gently. In a moment of discovery, I stumbled upon these treasures. Do you recall the promise Nana made to them, my dear? It seemed that perhaps the moment had finally arrived. She perched herself on the edge of my bed. A silent arrival that needed no invitation. As the lid of the box creaked open, a world of possibilities lay before me. Within the confines of a small box lay a pair of pearl drop earrings, their delicate form evoking a sense of nostalgia and warmth, as if they held stories of cherished moments long past. As I stood there, my eyes fluttered, caught in a moment of uncertainty about the game unfolding before us. Oh, my dear, she never intended to cause you pain, Vera gently reassured, her fingers gliding over the fabric of her skirt as if to weave comfort into the air. Callista has her own way of navigating the world, and we believed you had left behind everything that came before, everything that has come to pass, as if grief were a shoebox, carefully placed beneath the bed, destined to be forgotten in the shadows of memory. In the dim glow of the room, the earrings sparkled with an icy brilliance, their pristine surfaces reflecting the soft shadows around them. My hand hovered just inches away, as if drawn by an invisible thread, yearning to grasp what lay before me. In a moment of reflection, I found myself teetering on the edge, where the comforting embrace of nostalgia threatened to soften the fierce fire that burned within. In a fleeting moment, the words danced on the tip of my tongue, ready to escape into the air like a whisper of gratitude. There came a moment, a fleeting whisper of time, when I found myself on the brink of forgiveness for her transgressions. And then out of the stillness there came a buzz. As I sat quietly at my desk, a sudden glow broke the stillness, my phone illuminated, casting a soft light across the surface. Once upon a time there was a message that arrived from Liana, a dear friend from the days of college adventures. It seems there's something you ought to behold. With a gentle touch I pressed the link. Once upon a time there was a tale shared on Instagram, a fleeting glimpse into a moment captured in the digital realm. Once more, the name of Callista echoed in the air. In a serene moment one finds themselves seated cross-legged upon a sun-kissed patio, nestled in a tropical paradise, perhaps the enchanting island of Bali. With a delicate smoothie of the palest hue cradled in her hand, the soft glow of the lighting wrapped around her, enhancing the beauty of every word she spoke. Her voice flowed like honey, rich and smooth, wrapping around the ears of those who listened. Forgiveness, a force unlike any other, capable of mending the deepest wounds and lighting the darkest paths. Its power resonates through the hearts of those who embrace it, transforming sorrow into hope and despair into peace. In moments when individuals unleash their fury, I understand that it is merely the echoes of their own suffering that speak through them. From the depths I ascend. As I gazed at the screen, a weight settled upon my chest, rendering me breathless. Once upon a time, there was a tale that revolved around me. Once upon a time, there was a comment that vanished into the ether, leaving behind whispers of curiosity and intrigue. Once there was a fabric as soft as a whisper, a velvet cloth that held secrets of elegance and grace. Once upon a time, there was a ring. Once upon a time, there were earrings that held stories of their own. Each fragment of my self-control transformed into a weapon, cleverly disguised as her divine forbearance. A sudden wave of humiliation crashed over me, swift and unexpected, like a slap I ought to have anticipated. Not long after, Vera took her leave, urging me to find some time to rest. Silence enveloped me, a quietude that spoke volumes. With a subtle nod, the agreement was silently forged. With a soft click, the door sealed itself behind her, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. In the quiet of the house, the dishwasher sang its soft, steady tune from downstairs. Once more, the house embraced the stillness as if it had exhaled a long-held breath, settling into a serene hush that wrapped around its very walls. Yet, deep within, a stirring began to rise, refusing to be silenced any longer. As I lifted the lid of my laptop, a world of possibilities unfolded before me. The folder labeled Truth sat there, gaping wide like an eager mouth, ready to reveal its secrets. Behold, I have captured the essence of Callista's tale in a screenshot. In that moment, I found myself holding the inheritance letter that had been entrusted to me by Nana, the one who inscribed my name upon the scroll. In her delicate cursive, just beside the word earrings, a tale began to unfold. With a careful gaze, I took in every detail, examining it closely. With a gentle hand, I reached for my phone and, with a sense of anticipation, activated the recorder. In the stillness of the night, I found my voice and whispered into the shadows that enveloped me. My intention is not to unveil their secrets. In this moment, I embark on a journey to etch their true essence into my memory, ensuring that I shall never forget who they truly are. With care, I took the earrings and gently enveloped them in a soft cloth, before tucking them away into the depths of the drawer. It is advised against usage. It is best left unworn. Once upon a time, in the quiet corners of our minds, there lay a gentle reminder, a whisper of the past, beckoning us to recall. It was more than mere betrayal. It was a familiar rhythm, one that had woven itself into the fabric of my understanding, teaching me the art of forgiveness. It was more than mere betrayal. It was a familiar rhythm, one that had woven itself into the fabric of my understanding, teaching me the art of forgiveness. Yet on that fateful morning, a change was in the air. As the first light of dawn began to whisper through the world, I found myself awake, long before the sun had fully ascended above the rooftops. In the hushed embrace of dawn, the house lay in serene stillness, wrapped in the soft, muted tranquility that only the gentle touch of cloudy mornings can bestow. In that moment, I chose not to linger for the warmth of coffee. There was no wandering through the endless feed. As I approached my closet, a wave of memories washed over me. There, nestled among the garments, was the navy blazer, untouched since the day we gathered to honor Everett. With a gentle touch, I draped it over a crisp button-down, readying myself for whatever lay ahead. The sleeves had grown a touch looser, yet the garment still embraced its wearer just right. As I gazed into the mirror, the reflection before me seemed to whisper that I was not a soul burdened by the weight of expectations. Once upon a time, there was a soul who had grown weary of the endless weight. Upon my nightstand, the velvet cloth lay, its folds cradling the flash drive with a gentle embrace. Within its depths lay a collection of treasures, receipts whispering tales of transactions, scanned letters carrying the weight of words once penned, a copy of Nana's will, a testament to legacy, the podcast audio capturing voices in time, screenshots of Callista's posts, snapshots of moments shared, and my own voice recording, a personal echo of thoughts and memories. With careful hands, I nestled the entire collection within a transparent envelope, gently tucked it into a folio, and sealed it with a swift zip, ensuring everything was secure and ready for its journey. In that moment, I chose silence over words, leaving no trace behind. Not a single message was sent to anyone. As I stepped through the front door, it felt as though I was embarking on a journey to the dentist, each step heavy with anticipation and a hint of dread. There was a calmness that enveloped the scene, a serene absence of tension. There was no fire to be found. In a realm where the air is crisp and invigorating, a sense of purpose weaves through the atmosphere, guiding every breath taken and every step forward. 15 minutes later, I found myself gliding into the parking lot of a co-working space, nestled snugly between a dog groomer and a yoga studio, each with its own charm and stories to tell. In a quiet corner of the bustling hotel, the front desk manager, a gentle soul in his 20s named Ethan, slid the keycard across the counter to me, his words few but his demeanor warm. Your kindness did not go unnoticed, and I hold it in high regard. In a cozy little cafe, I settled into a corner table, the soft glow of the window casting a warm light around me. Gentle droplets danced upon the window pane, whispering secrets of the sky. As I sat down, the familiar hum of my laptop filled the air, a gentle reminder of the past. I opened the legal document templates that Everett's estate lawyers had once entrusted to me, a precautionary measure for the uncertain roads ahead. With a steady hand and a mind as sharp as ice, I filled in the blanks, each stroke precise and deliberate. Once upon a time, there existed an item, a simple yet intriguing object that held stories waiting to be uncovered. In the tender days that preceded his departure, there lay a magnificent ring, a 4.1-carat treasure, acquired together with Everett, a symbol of their shared dreams and love, just 3 months before fate would take him away. Once upon a time, there was a declaration made, a statement that echoed through the air, carrying with it the weight of intention and purpose. Once upon a time, there was a cherished property, safeguarded with great care, awaiting the moment when love would unite two souls in the sacred bond of marriage. And so it came to pass that the sole ownership was bestowed upon the surviving party. Once upon a time, there was a soul known simply as me. With great care, I wove together the threads of time, matching each entry to the echoes of dated email exchanges, the silent witness of photo timestamps, and the solemn words of the notarized letter that Everett's mother had once entrusted to me, affirming the family's wish for me to safeguard the ring. In the pages of my account, I wove an affidavit that detailed the unfolding events surrounding the sale, capturing the essence of the psychological turmoil that ensued. As the clock struck 10:42 in the morning, I took a deep breath and pressed the send button. In the hands of Fisher and Ellis LP, the esteemed firm entrusted with the management of Everett's affairs, the documents found their rightful place. I directed my words to Samantha Mira, a partner whose genuine warmth lingered in my memory like a comforting embrace. In that moment, I leaned back, allowing the world around me to unfold. Not victorious, free from the shackles of vengeance. In that moment, everything was quiet. A stillness enveloped the air as if time itself had paused to catch its breath. Not a single tear fell from my eyes. It remained still, unwavering in its stance. As I shut my laptop, I sank into the embrace of the chair, allowing the gentle patter of the rain to soften the contours of reality around me. Before me rested a ceramic cup, its surface gleaming, holding within it a brew of untouched coffee, waiting patiently for a sip that had yet to come. At long last I brought it to my lips. Though the chill had settled in, it remained a treasure that belonged to me. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, I found myself lingering in that space, enveloped by its quiet embrace. In the room adjacent to mine, a dedicated team was immersed in their rehearsals, preparing for a noble nonprofit event that promised to touch many hearts. Through the sturdy walls, their laughter danced and echoed, weaving a tapestry of joy that filled the air. From the shadows, one of them emerged, stepping into the light to answer a call that beckoned with urgency. With a gentle curve of her lips, she cast a smile in my direction. I returned the nod, a silent exchange of understanding between us. With a gentle tug, I unveiled yet another folder, its contents waiting to be discovered. This tale was not woven with the threads of my family's story. At the very least, not in a straightforward manner. In the heart of the city, a remarkable initiative known as Reclaiming What Was Always Yours was taking shape. It was an annual gala dedicated to celebrating women's leadership, a vision I had been nurturing in silence, honoring Everett's memory since the autumn leaves began to fall. He had often proclaimed that legacy required no title to define its essence, merely a gentle ripple dancing across the surface. In the depths of the night, a flicker of illumination broke through the shadows, casting its glow for another soul wandering in the darkness. Next week, the stage will be set at the Meadowbrook Center, a splendid venue nestled just beyond the city's embrace. In the shadows of my careful planning, the floral arrangements blossomed, the speakers' stipends were secured, and the customized signage stood proudly, all funded under a foundation name I had crafted with great discretion. In the realm of healthcare, there exists a beacon known as the ER Trust. With a careful eye, I revisited the PowerPoint slides, ensuring every detail was just right. Among the treasures of time, there lay a photograph from years past, capturing a moment when Everett and I stood side by side, lending our hands to a career panel dedicated to single mothers. In my mind's eye, I can still see him, lingering long after the clock had struck the hour, dedicating his time to assist a woman in unraveling the complexities of her resume. And so, as the stars began to twinkle in the darkening sky, that slide would mark the end of the evening's adventures. There, just above it, in delicate letters, a whisper of information awaited discovery. In tribute to the unsung heroes who offer their gifts in silence. With a sense of accomplishment, I dispatched the final slide deck to the event coordinator, marking the culmination of our efforts. As I gathered my belongings to embark on a new journey, a sudden buzz from my phone interrupted the moment. A message from my mother. A message has arrived for you. It appears to be an invitation to a grand gala. And so it was that Callista received one as well. It seems they are eager for her voice to be heard. What a marvelous sight to behold. For what felt like an eternity, my gaze was fixed upon the screen as if it held the secrets of the universe within its glow. And so a hearty laugh escaped my lips. Only a single time. Gentle and parched. It felt as if I held the secret to a punchline, one that only I could truly understand. Alas, I did not send my reply. There was silence, as if the words had vanished into thin air, leaving no trace behind. There was no call for me to stand upon that stage. In the quiet of my workshop, I had already crafted the microphone, a creation born from my imagination and skill. Allow them to step into the radiant glow of the spotlight. In the shadows of uncertainty, a mystery lingered, for they were unaware of the one who had sparked the flame. As the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm golden glow, I made my arrival. In the heart of the hotel, the event space glowed softly, illuminated by the gentle flicker of candlelight. Glass bowls adorned the tables, each cradling delicate white daisies that floated gracefully, adding a touch of enchantment to the atmosphere. Their presence caught my eye the instant I crossed the threshold. My personal imprint. In a world where choices bloomed like petals in the sun, Vera stood at the crossroads of color and sentiment. She would have chosen roses, vibrant red, or nothing at all. Yet this night was not one she could shape to her will. With a hushed demeanor, I approached the front desk to check in. There were no name tags to be found. Without a hint of complication. As the coordinator approached, her fingers brushed lightly against my elbow, a gentle gesture that accompanied the handing over of a neatly folded program. In that fleeting moment, she looked right through me, as if I were a mere shadow in her world, unrecognized and forgotten. That moment was nothing short of perfection. Across the room, I beheld Callista as she gracefully entered through the main doors, adorned in a gown of pure white that seemed crafted just for her. Her hair was elegantly pinned up, cascading in deliberate waves that whispered of grace and intention. Vera strolled alongside her, their arms linked, murmuring words of admiration as if she were guiding a contestant in a grand competition. "You deserve this, darling," she proclaimed, her voice a melodic whisper that danced through the air, reaching the ears of those gathered by the champagne table, as if sharing a secret meant to be savored. In a quiet corner I lingered, enveloped by solitude for a spell. It was not concealed, but rather laid bare for all to see. Unfazed by the world around, a serene calmness envelopes the spirit. In the quiet elegance of the evening, there it was, a black dress, unadorned yet captivating in its simplicity. There was a distinct absence of sparkle. There was no statement to be found. Only gifts await. With my clutch nestled snugly against my ribs, the soft velvet cloth folded neatly within, it pressed gently against the envelope that had remained my constant companion throughout the week, never straying from my gaze. As the melodies gently faded, a transformation swept through the room. As the hosts made their way onto the modest stage, a warm smile spread across their face, ready to greet the eager guests who had gathered in anticipation. Then, a gentle ripple of applause filled the air, a few polite claps echoing in appreciation. As the last remnants of the meal vanished from the dinner plates, the wine flowed anew, ready to accompany the unfolding tales of the evening. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the rhythm of the evening commenced its gentle dance. And so it was that the moment arrived when the surprise guest speaker was revealed to all. With a grace that spoke of countless performances, Callista seized the microphone, ready to weave her tale. Her footsteps echoed with a certain familiarity, as if each step had been carefully practiced and perfected. I could almost hear Vera take a deep breath, as if she were a proud director waiting in the shadows, ready to unveil her masterpiece. Grief, Callista began, is a journey, one that wends through the valleys of sorrow and the peaks of remembrance. Yet there are those who don it as a badge, a symbol they steadfastly refuse to part with. With a grip that tightened like a coiled spring, my fingers clutched the edges of my purse. She pressed on. "Tonight. Once upon a time, there was a longing to explore the art of release, to delve into the delicate dance of letting go. Once upon a time, there was a soul who faced the storms of life, battered and bruised by the trials that came their way. Yet, instead of allowing the shadows of hurt to shape their identity, they chose a different path. They transformed their pain into a canvas, painting a story of resilience and strength. In the end, it was not the wounds that defined them, but the courage to rise and create beauty from the ashes of their struggles. Though my name never graced her lips, I found myself woven into the fabric of every word she spoke. A figure loomed quietly in the space between her words. I had to let go of the shadows that bound me," she said, a gentle smile gracing her lips, tinged with a touch of sorrow. "In the tapestry of life, there are threads woven from objects, expectations, and the deep scars of family wounds. In a moment of clarity, I embraced the light." The audience, with a gentle sway of their heads, acknowledged the tale unfolding before them. A gentle chorus of floated through the air, as if the listeners were caught in the rapture of a sermon. With measured steps, I made my way to the event coordinator standing at the edge of the room. With her headset delicately balanced on one ear, she cast her gaze upon the screen cue, readying herself for the unfolding tale. "Pray tell, what was that?" With a gentle whisper, I extended the sealed envelope, a small token of what lay within. Once upon a time, there was a message that shone brightly, a beacon of generosity and kindness from a cherished donor. It must be played now, just before the final speaker takes the stage. With a hesitant flutter of her eyelids, she found herself caught in a moment of uncertainty. It came to me as a surprise, for no one had whispered the truth into my ear. It was asked for in advance. "Take a moment to unveil the card nestled within." With a gentle flick of her wrist, she unveiled the pages and let her eyes dance across the words, savoring each line that unfolded before her. Her brow knitted in thought, only to rise again, revealing a glimmer of understanding. "Indeed, very well, I shall prepare it for you." As I made my way back, I found myself drawn once more to my familiar corner. Callista stood upon the stage, her voice ringing out in gratitude to the organizers, the city, and the courageous women gathered here this evening, each of whom had triumphed over great challenges. Even before her final note lingered in the air, the audience erupted into a chorus of applause. And then, silence enveloped the moment, as if the world itself had taken a breath and held it, waiting for what would come next. As the evening unfolded, the house lights gently dimmed, casting a soft glow over the gathering. As the lights dimmed, the screen behind the stage surrendered to darkness, a silent prelude to the unfolding tale. As the scene unfolded, words of purest white began to emerge, softly fading into view. In remembrance of the remarkable Everett Langford Blaze. Silence enveloped the scene. In the soft glow of a tranquil room, I found myself seated, gazing into the lens as I began to share my thoughts. In a world where names carry the weight of destiny, I am known as Rowena Blaze. Tonight, I seek no accolades or applause. Once upon a time, I possessed the very essence of what was truly important, yet, in a fleeting moment, it slipped through my fingers, leaving me with a profound sense of loss. From my vantage point at the rear, I beheld the scene unfold as heads began to turn, each movement a whisper of curiosity in the air. For the very first time, some eyes fell upon me with recognition. Once upon a time, in a chapter of my life that feels both distant and achingly close, I laid to rest my beloved fiancé. In a moment filled with hope and dreams, we chose a ring together, a shining emblem of the future that awaited us. Once it was seized and traded away. Unbeknownst to me, the funds were set aside for another's adventure, a path I had no part in. That ring was more than a mere token, it held within it the weight of a promise, a whisper of futures yet to unfold. Within its depths lay the echoes of sorrow, the whispers of remembrance, and the warmth of affection. As the scene unfolded, the screen transformed, revealing a captivating photograph. Everett wore a smile that could light up the darkest of days. There I stood beside him, my hand clasped in his. In the shadows, I orchestrated the funding for this grand gala, all in his honor. In a tale woven with threads of destiny, the essence of reclaiming what was always yours transcended mere leadership. In the realm of recollection, where the essence of truth danced like shadows in the twilight, a tale unfolded. My voice carried no trace of anger. In the midst of confusion, there lies a singular truth, clarity. In the closing moments, I spoke of a truth often overlooked. Those who bear the heaviest burdens are often called to remain quiet, allowing the voices of the boisterous to find their solace. As the final scene unfolded, the screen slowly surrendered to darkness. The room held its breath. And then in an instant it came to a standstill, caught in a moment of stillness. Vera's hand shot to her mouth, as if struck by an unseen force. Callista, poised gracefully near the stage, found herself caught in a moment of stillness, as if time itself had paused around her. In a moment frozen in time, the photographer's flash erupted, illuminating her face, which danced between the shadows of confusion and the flicker of fear. I chose not to linger on the words that were spoken. As I made my way to the door, a soft whisper floated through the air behind me. Did she truly part with her coins for this? And then came another. Could it be that the man before her was the one she had promised her heart to? With determination in my heart, I pressed forward, never glancing back at what lay behind. He moved forward, unbothered by the silence that followed his actions, as if the need for recognition was but a fleeting thought in the grand tapestry of his journey. As I ventured into the embrace of the night, the chill wrapped around me like a whispered secret, urging me to remember. I was not unseen. Once upon a time, I found myself drifting away, no longer belonging to them. Applause was not what I sought. In that room, where every gaze was fixed and every ear was attuned, I yearned for them to grasp the truth that hung in the air like a whisper waiting to be spoken. As dawn broke, my phone began to tremble incessantly, a restless companion in the quiet of the morning. Before the first light of dawn could grace my eyelids, a sensation stirred on the nightstand, pulsating as if it bore a message meant solely for me. As I turned in my slumber, my gaze fell upon the glowing screen before me. In the quiet of the moment, there lay a collection of 38 unread messages, each one a whisper of stories waiting to be unveiled. There lay a tale of 12 missed calls, each one a whisper of urgency echoing through the silence. Notifications piled high on every app, resembling the remnants of a fire I had quietly kindled. As I ventured into the realm of Instagram, a world of images and stories unfolded before my eyes. In the beginning, the first story tile came alive with the image of Callista's face, a canvas of emotions waiting to unfold. In the stillness of the moment, tears streamed down her cheeks, a silent testament to the weight of her sorrow. With great flair and intensity, with great skill and creativity, in a moment of vulnerability she revealed I was ambushed, her voice trembling like leaves in a gentle breeze. Last night was meant to be a gathering of mending hearts, a moment to rejoice in the journey of recovery, yet it turned into something entirely different, an unexpected clash instead of a harmonious celebration. Once upon a time, my sister, with her keen eye for beauty, seized something exquisite and, in a twist of fate, transformed it into a tale of vengeance. With a gentle motion, the figure glided across the surface, a dance of grace and fluidity. In a moment captured on film, she dabs at her eyes with a tissue, her perfectly manicured fingers trembling as a caption reads, "She's weaponizing grief." The scene unfolds, drawing the viewer into a tale of emotion and complexity. Once more, a fleeting moment captured on film. Her face angled just enough to suggest she was lost in thought, blissfully unaware that the camera continued to capture the moment. In my quest to weave her into the fabric of our family, I found myself facing an unexpected truth. At times, those we hold dear can become our fiercest adversaries. As the words began to pour in, a wave of voices emerged, each one eager to share their thoughts. Alas, what a sorrowful tale this is. In her time of need, the call for assistance echoed softly, urging her to seek the guidance that could light her path once more. It seems your sister carries a heavy burden of negativity. As I finally ventured into the realm of Twitter, I discovered that 2 local blogs had already woven her tale into their narratives. In a tale woven with threads of challenge and triumph, a resilience coach finds herself navigating the stormy seas of family sabotage at a grand women's gala. In a whirlwind of swift movements and precise intentions, everything unfolded before our eyes. Once upon a moment, a message arrived from Vera. Alas, the bonds of this family have been torn asunder by your actions. In this moment, I ask you, are you filled with joy now? Then came a missed call from my father, echoing through the silence. In the stillness of the digital realm, there lingered a silence so profound, it spoke volumes, a silence that whispered enough. In a moment of resolve, I chose to sever the ties, casting both of them into the shadows of my past. And so it was that a message arrived from Ethan. He had known Everett, and he had known me long before I learned to silence my own voice. Do not allow them to claim the last say. You've journeyed through shadows and trials, and now the light beckons you forward. Do not let the darkness reclaim you. That was the spark that roused me from my slumber. With a swift motion, I slipped into my trusty jeans and donned a simple navy sweater, ready to embrace the day ahead. With no makeup adorning my face and no earrings to catch the light, I carried only a soft velvet cloth, carefully folded and tucked into my jacket pocket, alongside a freshly printed transcript from that very morning. It was a truth that lingered in the air, neither needing to be proclaimed with a loud voice nor concealed in the shadows. It simply existed, waiting to be acknowledged. As the wheels turned along the familiar path, the journey to the family house unfolded swiftly, each moment steeped in the warmth of cherished memories. Though the years had passed and the warmth of home had faded, my body remembered the twists and turns as if guided by an unseen hand. The front door stood ajar, as if it had been waiting for my arrival all along. In the heart of her living room, Callista moved restlessly, her hair twisted into a knot atop her head, a phone gripped tightly in one hand as if it held the answers to her unspoken questions. Her voice emerged in a series of strained rehearsals, each word a careful attempt to navigate the treacherous waters of damage control, spoken aloud as if to tame the chaos within. Once upon a time, there was a tale woven with threads of emotional turmoil and resilience. It speaks of a journey marked by shadows and light, where the heart learned to navigate the complexities of pain and healing. In that moment, time seemed to stand still as her eyes locked onto mine, and she became a statue caught in the web of surprise. "You shouldn't be here," she snapped, her voice taut with tension, yet her hands betrayed her, trembling ever so slightly. "I shan't tarry," I declared as I crossed the threshold, a sense of tranquility enveloping me. With purposeful steps, I approached the coffee table, gently placing the transcript upon its surface. Though it was slender, the paper bore a weight that felt almost burdensome. Her eyes flickered toward it, a spark of curiosity igniting within her gaze. "What is that, you ask?" Silence enveloped the moment, and I chose not to respond. As I carefully unfurled the velvet cloth that lay before me, a soft square that whispered of memories long past, now empty yet rich with the echoes of what once was. With careful consideration, I tucked it away beneath the transcript. "It was your voice that reached out to me," I said, echoing from the podcast, "the very one where you labeled me a grief addict." Callista's visage lost its vibrant hue, as if the very essence of life had been drawn away. In a world where the whispers of the media dance through the air, one might find themselves lost in the cacophony. Yet there stands a figure, resolute and wise, who claims to grasp the essence of truth itself, navigating the shadows with clarity and purpose. Her gaze locked onto mine, her lips barely parting, yet silence enveloped us like a thick fog. I lingered for just a heartbeat more, allowing the stillness to envelop me. And so I turned. As I approached the door, Vera emerged from the shadows of the hallway, her presence a sudden twist in the tale. Her eyes were wide, as if she had just emerged from a dream, confronting a reality that was not of her own making. "We're family, Rowena," she said, her voice quivering ever so slightly, as if the weight of the words carried a deeper meaning. Crimson droplets, a vivid testament to life and struggle. I paused, not from uncertainty, but from a newfound understanding. In the grand tapestry of life, blood holds no weight if it is not intertwined with the threads of respect. "I'm not here to belong anymore," I declared, my voice steady and resolute. In this moment, I stand ready to shatter the chains of repetition. She remained silent, rooted in place as if the words she sought had slipped through her fingers, leaving her adrift in a sea of uncertainty. With a steady heart, I strolled by her, unyielding, stepping into the embrace of the cool air beyond. As the clouds began to part ever so gently, a delicate ribbon of light emerged, the sort of illumination that beckons the eye to seek it out amidst the shadows. With a gentle motion, I tucked the velvet cloth away, letting it nestle into the depths of my pocket. It was as if a new chapter had begun, a sense of clarity washing over everything, a feeling of completion lingering in the air. I did not depart out of disdain for them. In a moment of clarity, I chose to embark on a journey of self-love, leaving behind what no longer served me. In the gentle embrace of morning, the light in Napa revealed itself in a unique way, softer and more forgiving, as if it were a kind friend rather than a harsh critic. It did not pierce the heart. Instead, it wrapped around it like a gentle embrace, filling it with warmth. As I stood before the door of my new studio, a soft breeze whispered through the vineyards, carrying with it the promise of new beginnings. With a turn of the key, I unlocked not just the door but a world of creativity waiting to unfold. As the sun dipped low in the sky, the sign above the entrance glimmered, catching the light in a dance of shimmering brilliance. In the realm of creation, where memories intertwine, there existed Langford and Blaze, each a testament to the artistry of remembrance. As I crossed the threshold, I reached for the switch and illuminated the space around me. Though the space was modest in size, it held a sense of vastness that the Blaze family house had never quite captured. In a space adorned with the warmth of wood floors and the gleam of brass fixtures, a row of sturdy work tables stood proudly, their faces turned toward wide windows that captured the hills beyond, resembling a masterpiece crafted by an artist's hand. In a room where the walls whispered of a gentle cream, my tools stood at attention, each one waiting patiently in silent order. In the hands of a skilled artisan, pliers dance with precision while molds await their transformation. A flame torch flickers to life, casting a warm glow as tumblers stand ready to embrace their new form. It dawned on me in a moment of quiet reflection just how deeply I longed for the familiar scent of metal as it embraced the warmth of the fire. In that moment, it lingered on the delicate edge of hope, teetering ever so slightly towards the weight of finality. In that inaugural week, the flow of visitors arrived with a consistent rhythm. In the heart of San Francisco, a young couple embarked on a journey, their hearts set on discovering wedding bands that resonated with the essence of their love. In the twilight of her years, a woman approached me with a gentle request. She wished for a locket to be transformed into a ring, a cherished vessel to hold not just the memory of her beloved husband, but his image close to her heart, allowing her to carry a piece of him wherever she went. In the midst of the bustling crowd, there lingered a few silent figures, the locals who spoke little but observed keenly. With a knowing glance, they leaned in and murmured, "You're the one from the gala, aren't you?" With a gentle nod and a warm smile, I would offer no more than that. In the dimly lit back corner, where shadows danced and secrets lingered, there stood a glass case, illuminated by a gentle spotlight that cast a warm glow upon its contents. Within the confines of the box, nestled with care and folded just so, lay a velvet cloth that stirred memories of days gone by. Framed beneath it lay a handwritten note, whispering secrets of its creation. "This piece is not for sale, for it cost everything to bring to life." Underneath the fabric lay a band, a mesmerizing blend of diamond and steel, perfectly united in its creation. Along the edge, there lay a single daisy, delicate and unassuming, neither ornate nor showy, but quietly resolute in its presence. On a sunlit afternoon, a curious little girl strolled in hand with her parents, ready for an adventure. With a gentle touch, she leaned closer, her nose brushing against the cool surface of the glass, and with a spark of excitement, she pointed towards something unseen. Who was the creator of that masterpiece? With a curious glint in her eye, she posed the question. As I lowered myself beside her, I let my arms drape over my knees, finding a moment of stillness in the air around us. "There was once a soul who dwelled in silence," I remarked. With her brow scrunched in a curious manner, she turned to me as if seeking answers hidden in the depths of my gaze. Have they found their way to a brighter path now? A gentle smile graced my lips, warm and sincere. Once upon a time, she wandered through the realms of knowledge, her voice a mere whisper in the winds of uncertainty. Yet, as the days turned into nights, she began to find her strength. Now she speaks with a newfound courage, her words echoing like a melody in the air, no longer bound by silence. As the days turned into weeks, silence enveloped the air, leaving no trace of Vera or Callista's presence. Silence reigned, devoid of calls or texts, yet within that stillness lay an answer of its own. On a fateful Saturday, a brief message arrived, sent by an old family friend, Lorraine, whose name carried with it a tapestry of memories. It had been ages since our paths last crossed, back in the days of college. At the gala, I caught a glimpse of your tribute, a moment that lingered in the air. Your mother, though silent about it, held a treasure close to her heart, for the video found its place on her desktop, a quiet testament to her pride. With a furrowed brow, I read the message not once, but twice, allowing its weight to linger in the air before I decided to let it rest for a while. In that moment, I chose silence. I held the message close, yet I let it drift away, untouched and unshared, allowing it to simply exist in the stillness of time. In the quiet moments of life, one may find that an apology often lingers in the air, unspoken yet deeply felt. Yet, it is essential to remember that one should not pause their journey, waiting endlessly for those words to arrive. With a sense of purpose, I approached the workbench, my fingers gently gliding over the surface as I reached for the top drawer, sliding it open to reveal its hidden treasures. Within the confines of the velvet box lay the original receipt, its edges frayed and its paper a soft yellow, a testament to the passage of time. With a gentle hand, I set it down next to Everett's last note, the cherished piece of paper that had nestled in my wallet through the passage of time. Guard your voice fiercely, for it is a treasure, and never allow anyone to diminish your value. As the clouds parted, the sun poured its golden light over the cobblestones, illuminating the world with a warm embrace. Stepping outside, I inhaled deeply, then reached for the door to swing it open. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, I found myself immersed in the ancient art of melting silver. With stones carefully set and a new line of pendants taking shape, there was an air of calmness, a gentle flow of creativity, devoid of haste or frantic energy, just a serene motion guiding the process. In the stillness, a hush enveloped the world. It belongs to me. In the dimly lit room, the gentle strains of an old folk song wafted through the air, its sound low and grainy, like a whisper from a distant past. Though the words eluded me, the melody danced in my mind, a haunting echo of something I had encountered long before I could even give it a name. Once more, my gaze fell upon the fabric resting beneath the glass, its secrets waiting to be unveiled. Once upon a time, it cradled a promise of a future that was destined to remain just out of reach. In that moment, it contained naught but emptiness, and yet, paradoxically, that very absence spoke volumes. Once upon a time, I found myself in possession of something that was meant to endure through the ages, yet it slipped away from my grasp, leaving behind a void that echoes with the promise of eternity unfulfilled. In that moment, I found myself adrift, having lost souls who were never destined to part ways with me. Yet, amidst the shadows of loss, I discovered a whisper of resilience, a strength that lay beneath the surface. Once upon a time, there was a soul who embarked on a journey of self-discovery, navigating the vast landscapes of their own being. And in this moment, no one shall have the power to trade my essence.